welcome back to a not so riveting review. I'm just gonna make this as quick as painlessly possible because She-Hulk does not deserve me giving a single iota of a fuck. Okay? I'm just gonna come out and say it. I hated the fucking show with burning passion. Why did I hate the show? Well, there wasn't exactly much of a plot there, if you could even call it a plot, right? It was just a series of events that really didn't have any relevancy to each other. She-Hulk was nothing like her comic counterpart in the slightest. In the comics, Jennifer is before she becomes She-Hulk, she is timid, shy, unsure of herself, a lot of these different, things that just kind of makes her seem, meek. And then when she becomes She-Hulk, this is where she gains, this newfound confidence and more flirtatious, foxy kind of, behavior, and she's, more joyful, more fun, not quite as carefree, but she's living in the moment, she's having a good time, right? Without getting too crazy or reckless, because there are times when she is put in check, right? The show is Jennifer was already completely in control of herself. She's confident, has everything she wants, no problems or issues with her there. It's only she is held back by men in her life. And the first episode, which was infamous, if anyone's ever seen anything about that, where she goes on an entire tirade of complaining to Bruce that she can control her life infinitely more than him because she's been catcalled and she has to listen to people explain their job to her. Although as the show progresses, it's painfully obvious that's not the case, but the writers don't want to admit that. Most men in this show are either comically evil, to ridiculous stereotypical fashion of assholes, or they are meek, submissive people that will clap like seals for anything for the women. It was a miracle that Daredevil popped up, that Daredevil even escaped just barely unscathed as he did. And yeah, he fucked She-Hulk. Now, if it was comic She-Hulk, I would give him a beer and say, "Thank you, man, you did a good job. I like you." But since it was MCU Jen who fucks anything that gives her fries, it doesn't really work out there. Was there any superheroing? No, there really wasn't. And there's not even action, really. There's a brief fight between Jennifer and She-Hulk, between She-Hulk and Bruce in the first episode. There's a 9-second fight at the end of that episode with her and Titania. There's a fight with the Wrecking Crew, or at least what they wanted you to think was the Wrecking Crew, because they were just a bunch of pussies. And also, conveniently, the one black guy on the team was played by a white guy. Weird how that works out there. But yeah, there was another scuffle with Titania at episode 6 or so, and not much else after that. There was barely even a fight in the last episode, which was completely bullshit, because when the villains, the quote-unquote villains, who happen to be internet trolls who criticize the show, as they claim, right? When she confronts them all and whatnot, and things start getting crazy, all other characters start showing up, suddenly things aren't making sense. There's incel Hulks. Yes, I know. I'm not explaining it. It's just stupid, right? And all of this gibberish, She-Hulk literally pauses the fucking show, breaks out the fourth wall, because she does that, and it was a thing in the comics, but they do it very terribly here. Breaks out of the fourth wall, goes straight to Marvel offices, and Karens her way into getting a fanfic ending, where we completely skip any shred of what these story threads they were putting in, just to get a fanfic ending. This was not a superhero show because the character is completely a narcissist, cannot handle the slightest bit of criticism, and no one bothers to call her out. The only people that do happen to be the so-called villains of the show. Internet trolls. What happened to supervillains? What happened to, like, characters like Doctor Doom or the Leader, you know, or you know, like characters like that that were like wanting to take over the world or rob a bank or commit an evil deed. What happened to that? And like, no, 4chan Reddit trolls. That's your villain there, right? And the CGI, well, I don't need to bother with the CGI. The CGI looks like shit. There might be some angles where it just doesn't look too bad if you glance at it, but the more you look at it, the more you realize, my God, you overworked the fucking VFX artists. You worked them to death for this. You made a person miss their child's birthday just to make a poorly animated She-Hulk twerking scene. Yes, that happened. There's nothing to it, man. There's nothing to it. It's a terrible, horrible show that's actually taken the crown for worst Disney Plus show. I thought Loki was pretty bad just for all the crap that it just fucks up, but at least there was sort of a through line with that show. Like, there was something to it. This is like, there wasn't even an attempt at a story. The writers completely don't like nerds. They don't like comic books. They don't like any of that. They clearly wanted to write something else, but couldn't do it, so they just decided to come to Marvel and have it get tackled on She-Hulk. Alright? The supposed meta commentary they put in is only just them like, yeah, we know our show is shit, so that's good, right? Like, no, you can't just you can't hold the lamp over the problems and expect the problems to be gone. You kind of need to fix the fucking problems, right? Would I recommend this show? I would recommend it if you wanted to torture somebody. You know, just make them sit through that on repeat. That's about it. I think the show is just pure shit. I'm not going to really elaborate much because the show couldn't give a fuck about creating a goddamn story. So why should I be giving a fuck about making any point in this review? It's a terrible show. Don't watch it. Thank you. I'm probably going to go watch something cool, like Chainsaw Man or something. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go do. Leave your suggestions for anything superhero related down in the comment section below. I like to read comments, so I also have some sanity taken in. Well, that's about it. Anyways, with all that said, I will see you all on the next episode, hopefully with something actually good to review. Goodbye.
Oh, because I'm better than you?
Close your mouth.